Good morning. It is Saturday morning. I'm heading up towards Green River. Straight that direction is where the side-by-side is. So I gotta haul down to Green River. They got the C10 car, the Red Rock Rally C10 car show or whatever. It's all Chevy trucks. I'm missing it for multiple reasons. The once again brand new transmission in my Green Wrecker died. Nothing wrong. I ain't downshift. I ain't doing nothing. That's first. That's second. That's drive, and I didn't change anything. It didn't even make the test drive, and so I don't know what's going on. It's got to be something simple, something, I don't know. That's all part of another story, another video, another sad tale. Anyway, we're gonna go in here and grab this. I'm running solo today. We'll get up here and I'll show you what we got going on. Alrighty, here we is. Sweet. They did not lock it because I got to tie the steering wheel straight. Get that up. That's pretty cool. Now, in the last recovery that I did by myself, a lot of people didn't like the helmet cam, which I understand. It was very nauseating to watch, and we cut a lot of it out. But, I mean, it's difficult when you're out here by yourself doing that, but don't entirely know what else to do. But it does show how much I move my head around during the recovery, like when you're looking at every possible scenario and where this tire is, where that tire is, where this. Yeah, that happened. Alright, I like that a little better. And I know everybody's wondering, why didn't you just bring the trailer? Because I had to drive on the highway about 60 miles to get to the trailhead, and the trailer doesn't do great on the highway. Plus the ramps are all bent from the Jeep the other day, so I wasn't sure how well that was going to go on there, and with that wheel missing, I don't know that would have. So, like always, we will figure it out. So this is unfortunate. Well, let's see if I can fix this issue. Okay, crisis averted. So just slid down this bank. Okay, that ravine's behind us. Got a ledge right up here. this road right up here goes over to Crystal Geyser. That's a pretty cool little attraction. But anyway, like I said, the biggest reason I didn't bring the trailer is because towing it down the highway that far, I didn't feel really good about. On top of that, the ramps are still bent in half from when we hauled the Jeep out of Dollhouse. So we still haven't got those fixed up. I had a plan. I thought it'd go a little smoother. It didn't. Bent the heat shield around the muffler. So got to talk to the customer, tell them about that. So basically, this recovery is probably going to be free. Just because, you know, when I damage somebody's rig, I want to tell them, and I don't like charging them like, oh hey, here, I messed up your rig, and that'll be this much. You know what I mean? So we do. That's another myth that's going around with everything. We do charge for our recoveries. Everybody that talks about this, that hems and haws and talks, they won't ever just say like this is what we charge for recoveries. And I think it has a lot to do with YouTube being content based. So you've got to find the content. You got to do that. You've got to, you know, go find things and do things and go over and above. So we'll waive the fee if we can come out and get it, and then tell everybody we were the only ones that could do it and stuff like that. And that's not us. That's not what we're doing. So we were doing recoveries before we started YouTube. So that's just the way it is. And I've always charged $150 an hour. So for repairs, recovery, whatever, if it's off-road stuff, if we've got to load up and take a rig out, which when I shut my shop down, our rates were $125 an hour. And that was a couple years ago. And most of the shop rates around here, and especially, you know, in bigger cities with off-road shops or whatever, they're charging around $150 an hour for shop work. And then we come out to you on the trail and we'll fix you and repair you and whatever. So we charge $150 an hour. However, it's funny because people are like, well, you're gonna film it and make all this money. I don't make all this money on YouTube. I make some money on YouTube, yes. But I also have a shop. I also have electricity for that shop. I have employees. I have all these payments and all this stuff going out because I have a business. And that's what most people forget. This is a business. Whether it's YouTube for a business or whether it's doing the recoveries for a business, it's still a business. And what business doesn't want to make money? So like me and Mike joke, one day UNICEF will get into off-road recovery and they can do it for free. But we do charge. We charge $150 an hour. Now that's always been my rate, and I have not raised it. So I charge $150 an hour, and that's whether I go out with Minnie or whether me, Mike, and Sean go out and we take 2 trucks or whatever. I charge $150 an hour because I know that if we're taking extra guys and extra equipment, it's usually for the filming purpose, so I don't charge extra for that. So it's just $150 an hour. So, and I know I will get pushback on both sides of this, that, you know, that's outrageous. I can't believe you're charging people and filming it and making all this money. I don't care. You're not dealing with my bank account. You don't know how much money I make or don't make. And so we don't push ads. We don't do all this stuff. You know, like I always joke that I'm a horrible YouTuber. I really am. I am a horrible YouTuber. I'm a hell of a damn good off-road recovery guy. I'm a horrible YouTuber. So, take that as you will, but this is my job, and we're filming what we do. We don't create content. Content finds us. I started a job doing this that then became a thing, and lots of people are doing, and people have been doing off-road recoveries in different areas for years. That's nothing new. It's just something that now is catching the public's attention to watch on YouTube. and it's an additional revenue stream for me, which is cool, great. But it's not like, that's not the end all be all of making money. I make more money in the summer when people are here breaking stuff and we're going out and getting them. So that's just the way it is. And so then, like I said, you know, when I have things like this that go bad, that it didn't work out the way I wanted, and all that stuff, and so now I've got to take this to the guy and be like, hey, I bent your exhaust, I apologize for that, so I'm probably gonna waive the fee for this whole recovery. I'm gonna drop it off and say, I apologize, I broke your stuff, sorry, here you are, this one's on me, I worked for free today. That's the reality of it, and I have no problem with it. But that's the funny thing, is I can shut the cameras off and I can charge what I'm supposed to charge. So now Specialized Off-Road Recoveries for a towing thing has a set price. It's based by state or whatever, and I think Utah is $250 an hour per vehicle, and I don't remember if it's $75 or $100 per person. So it can be very expensive for off-road recovery. That's why a lot of people say how expensive it has to be. It really isn't. We don't charge that much because this is my passion, this is my hobby, like off-roading. So I don't want to just be like, well, we're the only ones doing this, so we're going to charge you whatever we want to charge you. No, that's not my thing. I want to charge to where I can cover my bills and make a little bit of money and do that. And I know Chris is watching this probably like, oh my God, yeah, I wish you'd make more money so that we could have a house. Anyway, like I said, I just wanted to get that off my chest, because like a lot of people, there's a lot of arguments going on. We've had some recoveries that we filmed but we couldn't use because the people, as soon as I handed them a bill, they started flipping out, and I can't believe you're going to charge me, do you know who I am, and that kind of stuff. And it's absolutely ridiculous. The one the other day, the guy was arguing that he talked to Mike and Sean and said, you know, oh well, Mike and Sean said, and I work with Mike and Sean, and I talked to them, and they said, we never agreed to that. We told them you need to talk to you because you run the business, you're the owner of the business, you need to make that decision. And so he's like, well, Mike and Sean promised me all this stuff, and they're not going to promise you anything because that's not the way we work. Above anything, I really appreciate you guys watching. It's cool that you guys want to see what we do and how we do it. But like I said, I really appreciate it. If you guys didn't watch, we'd put the cameras down and we'd just go back to charging for what we do at full rates, because that'd be the way we'd be making it. So, like I said, I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. And, yeah. If that's not coming out, that's fine. We'll get past it. That went pretty smooth. It hadn't hooked onto anything underneath. So the receiver hitch took all the forces. So everything was good on that. And now we're heading for another side-by-side. So, hooray! All right, so now we are headed up to Porcupine Rim. Got Jeff with me over here. He went with me on the motorhome recovery. And then as we were getting the motorhome pulled out of the ditch, we got a call up here for a side-by-side up here. Because my new favorite saying is Moab, where IFS comes to die. And we are looking at doing shirts. Let me know in the comments if you want to see some of those shirts. Google Maps is telling us to come a certain way that it's saying to drive in here and then walk in, and I'm not walking because I don't walk. So we're gonna try a different route, and I'm pretty sure it'll take us right where we want to go. Okay, so we found the side-by-side. It's right there. It's through that bush. You can't see it. It's over there. So now I have to back down this ledge and around this corner and everything, and it's gonna be interesting. But I need to swap the battery because it's almost dead. So give us a minute.
So he's gonna turn around, back down this hill, so we can get that.
That's a spicy line. I don't know that I'd choose this line, but I haven't looked at the other line, so maybe this is the better option. Okay, let it go. No, aim for this side. Right there, right there. Okay, ramps are all on, straps are all strapped. See? Two-seaters, the way to go. Two-seaters fit on the trailer better. I want to fold up the pole. Everything works, fits on the trailer. Glorious. All right, let's tighten that. He doesn't film watching. You're trying to get my fat butt in the Jeep.
Both guys gotta have each other's back.
So now you can see in that clip right there how the solid axles on the trailer float the front tires up ledges. Like just keeps it in the air and then whoop, right up to the next one. Keeps it rolling nice and easy. So yeah, plus less things to break. So we're just leaving the whole trailer and rig right there because it'd be kind of a bear to get off. So we left it with our buddies Moab Side By Side garage. They're gonna replace it, replace the arm and everything. The trailer's kind of holding it up because it's got that jack on the front. So it just kind of holds it up so they can repair it, fix it. And then I'll come back in the morning and grab it when it's all fixed, grab the trailer, and then we've got another one we got to go out and get for Moab Side By Side anyway. So we'll run out there and grab that in the morning. So it all just works out. So there we are. Thanks for watching, guys.